Why, hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Meditec's Talks on Air. I want to welcome you to this episode called Join the Meditec Family by Becoming an Education Liaison. And as you can tell, we have our lovely Community Outreach Manager, Mitzi Graham here. Mitzi, want to say hey?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Cool. So awesome. We get to have another episode where somebody is joining us remotely, which is always super, super, super exciting. So pretty much today what we're going to be talking about is one of these positions that we have open called an education liaison, who does a lot of outreach and kind of basically talking to potential students about what Meditec is about and also helping them kind of navigate their educational options. And I won't talk a lot about it right now because obviously that's what Mitzi is here for. She's going to do a little presentation for us. But I did want to start off with our fantastic laptop drawing. So we did a promotion back in August. I know it's a little late, but better late than never. We did a promotion in August, so basically if you enrolled between August 1st and August 30th, you're in a drawing for a Inspiron laptop. And I know this doesn't look like a lot of people, but I was trying to conserve paper and hopefully it wouldn't turn into like a huge pillow of people. But we're going to go ahead and do that drawing. So, Mitzi, I'm going to shake this up. Do you want to tell me when to stop? You want to give me a drum roll?
I gotcha. Drum roll.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay. So I'm going to pick one. Oh, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Okay.
The winner is?
The winner is, let's see if I can show it up here, Allison Meadows!
Yay!
Woo! So basically what we'll be doing, I'll make a little shorter video for the drawing and then also post this on our social media channels as well as Yammer for our current students, and then also shoot out an email to you, Allison. So if you ain't watching, you'll know soon that you won this laptop. And I'm actually going to write that down before I forget.
Congratulations, Allison.
Yeah, congrats, Allison. Woo! Cool. Well, that's awesome. So why don't we just hop right onto this education liaison business, Mitzi? You down to do that?
Let's do it.
So why don't you first kind of talk to us a little bit about you. Who are you? Who are you at Meditec, and what's your job?
What's my job? What I do? My name is Mitzi Graham. I am the Community Outreach Manager, and I manage the Education Liaisons. And Meditec and 360 Training, we have liaisons that go out there to help spread the word to military spouses, Workforce Investment Act, that helps spread the word about educational programs that we have to offer so they can continue their education, start their education for a brighter future, and have a rosy pink outlook on their future. So that's what we do, is try to help people to get their education and join the workforce, start in the workforce, just to spread the word about the wonderful programs that we have to offer.
Right, definitely. I completely agree with that because that's one thing about Meditec, is that it's kind of a particular type of education that I feel people don't really think about sometimes and don't realize that it's an option. So really, education liaisons not only go out there to promote our programs, but also just to kind of teach people about, non-traditional sorts of ways to gain their education and have a successful career, basically. But Mitzi, you yourself were actually a military spouse like the majority of our students at one time, correct?
I did. I participated in the My CAA program in 2009 when it was the starter program. And it was a pilot program at the time, and that was before they made some cutbacks then. And prior it was $6,000, and it wasn't rank specific. Any rank could participate in the program. So I was able to participate in the medical office, and I also took paralegal and the advanced paralegal. And the paralegal courses that I took were Meditec courses. So I am also a Meditec graduate myself. So I can tell you from a professional perspective of our company how wonderful they are, great to work with. amazing employees that we work with, and also the programs are up to par. They're very, specific. They, certifications, everything is top notch. We're very proud of what we do and who we are and the programs that we offer.
Yeah. And can you talk a little bit before we kind of get into the education liaison position? Why were you looking to use, or why were you looking to kind of go into career training and therefore use the MyCAA grant? Like, what was your kind of thought process behind that?
It was one of those. My husband was preparing for deployment for a year. I was at home, with kids, and I was one of those, I want to do something for me. It's all about my family. It's all about my kids. What have I done for me? I want something that, I want to continue my education. I want to reach out to something different. And I found out during a meeting, a deployment meeting before he left, about this program, that it was a pilot program. And I was like, you know what, this is going to not only take my time, that I wouldn't be focusing on him being gone, that, something that I can show the kids. My kids are going to school too, and so is mommy, so it encourages them. We're all doing homework together. So it's something that, it really, it was free. It was free education, and, why not do it? It's something personally for me that I could, self-improvement, better myself, so why not?
No, definitely. I completely get it. And it sounds like you understand kind of the perspective of the majority of our student base, and therefore that's why it's really good that you actually manage the team that goes out there to essentially talk to potential students who just kind of understand, the position that they're in, or the circumstances that, cause pros and cons for, starting your education over again, or not over, sorry, but starting it and really gaining some awesome career training. So.
Exactly. And it's also, too, that, being, a prior spouse, and the background that I have, and doing this for over 6 years, that being in the industry and helping spouses out, I know, deployments. I know what they've been through. I know what they're going through. If it's their first deployments, I always like to say, this is stuff that I did. Send a calendar out to mark off the days and send it over, and, sending it back and forth, wherever they're deployed to, makes time go by a lot faster. So there's a lot of things, and it's honest. It's not about the courses per se. It's about that relationship that you build with students, and you want to see them successful. And that's the reason that I'm in the industry that I'm in. You watch these spouses go to, kind of meek and shy, and not really knowing, who they are or what they want to do. And then after they, finish their certification, they get the certification and they find the job, and they're like, you know what, I couldn't have done this without your help. Without taking this course, I would have never been in this position that I am today. So it's just amazing that we can touch lives and make a difference, and making a huge difference in their lives. There's not a lot of other things, and education, once you have it, no one can take it from you, so might as well take advantage of the benefits that are offered.
Right, exactly. So why don't we go ahead and get started with our education liaison position presentation. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, everybody. If there's a little bit of technical difficulties, don't hold it against me. But
it's Megan's fault.
So let me share my screen. Okay. Cool. Mitzi, you got it?
I got it.
Cool. So go ahead, take it away.
Okay. This is just going to do a basic overview of an education liaison, what the position is that we have available that's open. It's going to tell you a little bit about what an education liaison does, expectations, and just more about the different things that we do on a day-to-day basis. So next slide. The details. The location is work from home, military spouse friendly. Some travel will be required in your local area. So basically, what we're looking for is, your stay-at-home moms, the moms that have kids in school, even if you don't have kids. This is a flexible, portable career. This is something that no matter where you PCS, you can take it with you. We currently have an education liaison right now that is, she just had twins, and she is getting ready to PCS from North Carolina to Florida. So, and she's still doing an amazing job, even, you know, through PCSing, and she's still doing this. So that just tells you that, you know, kudos to her. She's doing a fabulous job. But, you know, we work with you. This is a user-friendly position. Salary range, it's monthly commission based on enrollments. The income potential average range is from $300 a month to $2,200 a month plus. The benefits is the work from home. Plan your own schedule. You also will be enrolled into courses, social media courses, so you will become a certified social media marketing specialist at no out-of-pocket expense for you to start. So we enroll you into these courses that teach you more about Twitter, teach you more about Facebook, on posting. I will admit I was one of those that had no clue about tweeting. So these courses, they're very beneficial to you, and they show you, you know, more about social media. It's a lot more in-depth than what you would think, and we will enroll you into that course as soon as you get started, so you can take that course and finish. And you also get the same experience as our students that we're enrolling. It's the same system, so you get to go through and see exactly what they're seeing. So it's something that's really amazing. The contract employee, you would get a 1099 that you do your taxes at the end. The department is career training programs, higher education, and e-commerce. Next slide. My CAA, what is it? For those of you who are not aware, excuse me, of what my CAA is, let me take a drink really quick. The Military Spouse Career Advancement Accounts Programs, that's what it stands for. It's a component of the Department of Defense, the DOD, the Spouse Education and Career Opportunities, that's the SECO program. It's a career development and employment assistant program. And what they do, my CAA, it helps military spouses to get license certificates, certifications, goes towards associate's degree. It does exclude associate's degree in general studies, liberal arts, and they do not have a concentration on the categories that I just covered. It is necessary for gainful employment in high demand, high growth, portable career fields and occupations. So that's something that we like to do to help you, to educate you that you have a career, because I've PCS so many times that it's not even funny. I did have the advantage where I wasn't in the position that I had to have employment, and I was grateful that I got to stay home with my kids, but I know that there's so many military families that they have to have that second job. They have to have another income. So it's, you can get portable careers from this. Pharmacy technician. So there's so many that we offer that that are portable wherever you go. Healthcare facilities, legal occupations. You can go there and you can find employment when you do move. So next slide.
Well, and then also the importance of knowing a lot about this grant specifically is because a large portion of our potential students and actual students utilize this grant in order to be able to take our courses. So we do extensive training for education liaisons to know the ins and outs, the eligibility requirements, and kind of the training requirements or the course requirements in order to receive the grant itself.
Exactly. And then, too, going over my CAA, you will learn if you have questions, concerns. We have so much deep, thorough training that you go through. We answer all your questions, all your concerns, anything that you might want to know. We give you prep questions just in case, when you're talking to military spouses. So we send you out there well armed. And if you ever have a question, that's something that I always make sure that I'm there to assist you with any and everything that you need. So you're never sent out there alone, and you do have an entire team backing you up when you take this position. So the description for the Education Liaison, and we refer to them as ELs. So I have my EL team, because saying Education Liaison all the time is just, it's just too long. So you would be an EL. So ELs are responsible for the promotion and lead generation efforts of Meditec 360 training and partnering schools. The EL builds awareness of the MyCAA and other potential grant opportunities and how Meditec can help military spouses reach their future career goals by meeting their current education needs. The Education Liaison is responsible for building positive relationships within the military community by using social media to promote Meditec and represent Meditec at community events. And that's something that that we've done, you know, over the past month, that we have really gone out there and we work with the community, within the community, to help educate the military spouses. We think that this program is out there and it's no cost to the spouse. You know, why not let other spouses know to take advantage of it? So that's what we're out there, you know, trying to do, is spread the word. You know, why not? And we help to educate you, and that's why we're looking for education liaisons, is to do the same thing. And this position, of course, you would excuse me, report to me. I'm the community outreach manager. Each EL will be supported by direct management with training materials and extensive social media training programs, thank you, Megan, and weekly training calls. And the training calls that we do have education liaisons that are stationed overseas, Italy, Germany, so we have them spread out. And I like to be flexible, so I have created 2 meetings during the week. One's on Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30. The other meeting is from 7:30 to 8:30 on Thursday evenings. So that way, you know, if you can't make the Tuesday meeting, you can always come to the Thursday night meetings. We always, on our calls, we have fun, but we also we conduct business. We make sure, you know, we talk about goals. If you have any questions, any concerns, new ideas. So we're a tight-knit family, and I like to make sure that everyone on my team knows that they're supported, and that, you know, you can contact me at any time that you need me, day, night, weekends. I'm always available. And I think that's something that I think everyone will be successful, as long as you know that you are supported and you have a tremendous team that would back you and support you as well. Including with the weekly training calls, you will also have marketing materials, including print materials, social media materials. You'll have your own personal website, which is called a landing page. So when you speak with someone, you can give them the link to your landing page, and they'll go in, submit their information, and you'll get credit for that lead. And it's an amazing thing how it goes back and it says your name and it tells everything about you, and you can put notes in there if you're going to submit that information, but it's very well organized. And trying to think if there's anything else. Megan, is there anything else social media wise? Or I'll send you out after your training and you get started, sending you out a goodie box that has all types of promotional materials that you'll get, marketing materials, ink pens, all kinds of neat, you know, gadgets and stuff, and things that will assist you in doing face-to-face events as well. So next slide. This is an example of the landing page that you will have created for you. At the top, it will have your name. It's all personalized. It has the same information, and this is what your potential students will see, that they would complete the information. Or if you do get their information from, you know, social media or face-to-face event, you can go in and you can complete this page and you can submit the information yourself as well. So this is just a little shot of what a landing page looks like. Next slide. Job duties. Your job duties are to promote Meditec programs to the military and local community while raising awareness to the MyCAA and other potential grant opportunities. You assist military spouses with career training programs, information that will help them with future employment. You also will promote and attend community events to bring awareness to the military community about the MyCAA grant and Meditec. Next slide. And this is my contact information. If you're interested, you can contact me at any time. You can call my office number. You can call my cell phone. You can fax me. You can email me. Anything that you need, any questions, any concerns that you have, please let me know. More than happy to assist you. Anything that you need, that's what I'm here for. If you have questions, you know, about the job, about, you know, more specific about the position, where we're hiring all over. So just let me know if this is something that interests you. I'm more than happy to speak with you whenever it's convenient for you. All you have to do is just let me know.
Right, and it looks like we actually didn't include Mitzi's email address, so if you
I
would like
just noticed.
if you would like to email her, you can definitely just email her at mitzi.graham@360training.com. So it's just first name dot last name at 360training.com. But yeah, so let's go ahead and stop the screen share. Where's my video? Okay, cool. Well, awesome. That was an amazing presentation. And I'm going to say, first off, I have a few questions for you, Mitzi, that I know a lot of either new or potential ELs have that I'll give you in a second. But if y'all have questions, if you want to click into the there's like a toggle button in the, I can't ever remember if it's the left or right, but basically it's a square with a bunch of other squares. If you click on that, there's a Q&A option where you can ask questions. So if you want to ask any questions about this position, go ahead and ask them and we'll answer them. But then also, I'm going to pull up the Showcase app, which is probably what is showing on your screen right now on the right-hand side. If you would like to apply to this position, there's the link to the application on our website. So literally just click more and you can fill it out there. There's also a lot of Meditec student testimonials that I actually just put up on the website, so if you want to check those out. But if you want to basically, have an idea of, the difference that we make for students and kind of what you could be a part of, essentially, you can also but you can also get an idea of what it's like to be an education liaison, because Sally Rojas, which is, I believe, the first testimonial on that webpage, essentially says, it essentially says that she is an education liaison and why she became one. So if you want to hear that, you can as well. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and go on over to the Q&A app. So if y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask. Would totally love to answer them, but Mitzi, I'm going to go ahead and ask a few myself. So
Okay.
for you, what type of person do you think is a good fit for program?
Fit for the job position.
For the,
Someone who I was like, I can go either way. For the job position, that's going to be, your stay-at-home moms, even, stay-at-home wife. Either way, someone that, wants to be productive, but yet have a flexible job, because that's something that is very important about this job, and that's why I love what I do is, I do have 3 kids. I do have, lots of things to do. We've got dance to go to. We've got, running around everywhere. And I do have the opportunity to have this position that, if something does arise, you can go and do. If you do have a sick child, you can, and you get to work from home. And I must admit, yoga pants is not a bad thing to be your work attire during the day. It's not a bad thing.
Right, and I definitely think it's also for a person who, let me pop myself back on the screen. I also think that this position is for a person who's very self-motivated and driven.
Yes.
Like, we do provide a framework for you, but we also don't essentially hold your hand throughout the entire process. So if you're somebody who, needs to be sitting in an office and have your boss kind of be like, okay, this is what I need you to do, and this is what I need you to do, this may not necessarily be the best position for you, because obviously you'd be remote. All of our ELs are all over the country, all over the world, actually. And so we just need people who, can kind of drive themselves. Like, obviously, you can have questions and be like, hey, I'm just not getting in contact with a lot of students. What can I do to basically reach out to more people? And we'd obviously help you with that, but you also kind of need to be a little bit self-sufficient, because we're just not there with you the entire time, and also we don't want to be looming over you.
That's true, and that's something else that you have to be able to prioritize as well. And it's kind of like when you are taking an online class, you have to have that dedication, you have to be focused, you have to have the ability to want to achieve success, you want to be larger than life, you want to be successful. So there's a lot of things that you have to have in mind, that you want to do. You have to like Megan said, you have to have that drive, and I'm not here to watch over you, but I am here to support you. So
Right.
there's a big difference in that.
Right. No, I love how you put that. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Gotcha.
Got my back. Okay, then the second question I have is, you kind of already went over this, but what type of commitment is required in order to be a part of this position? Because obviously, like we said, we're not going to be holding your hands, but also we don't just, here you hired and then let you float out there. So what is the commitment that education liaisons need to be aware of?
Right. What we do a complete thorough training from the beginning. It's usually about 5 days long, so we go over every aspect of the job, from the programs that we have, social media. Megan, I know you teach an awesome class for social media on exactly what to do. I learned so much from you in the social media. So, and then you're enrolled into a course as well that you're expected to take your time, go in and complete the program as well to learn about social media. You're expected to, it's mandatory to attend one of the meetings. That sounds kind of harsh, doesn't it? You're expected to attend one of my meetings either on Tuesday or Thursday, not both. And then I will schedule a weekly meeting with you when it's convenient for you, and it would be, each and every week. So that's expected as well. And then, posting, and if you want to go over a little bit more about the social media as well, Megan, if you want to do
Yeah,
that,
I
that's
can
great.
definitely do that. So, and it sounds like what you're saying, just because I help you manage the ELs a little bit, is that there's a weekly meeting for the entire team that you can choose either Tuesdays or Thursdays, and then Mitzi also does a weekly one-on-one with each of the ELs themselves.
Yes.
So, but as far as the social media requirements, I mean, essentially, we can go over some best practices, which was actually my next question, is basically like setting your own schedule. So a lot of the times what ELs do is have like a big asset is the Facebook groups, and making sure that you're part of Facebook groups not only for military spouses or bases, but also, people who are looking for jobs, job boards, etc., or even people just looking for career training. And just making sure that you have a set routine of like, okay, this morning on Mondays and Wednesdays I'm going to post in these groups, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I'll post in these groups. So it's just having kind of like what Mitzi was saying, is having, just like when you're in class, having a designated time to study or to do your class, you have a designated time where you're like, okay, this is where I'm doing outreach, this is when I'm responding to students, this is when I'm following up with students who have already been passed on to admissions advisors, and just really creating your own schedule around that, which is really cool in my opinion, because then it's like, okay, if your kiddo gets sick, or if you have a meeting with another friend or something like that during the week that's not normal, like you can really easily flex your time around what you got going on in your life. Like, oh crap, I don't have toilet paper, I need to go to the grocery store and get toilet paper. You can do that. You don't have to like, oh, okay, let's take some PTO or something.
Exactly. Yes. And that's something too that, when you talk about, flexibility, that's great. And then also about, well, this is a sales position. Well, technically, yes, it is, but I promise you, I could not sell a vacuum cleaner if I had to. It's just not in me. It's not pushing anything. We are informing them of what's available to them. So, these courses are available. They're out there. Take advantage of something. It's, our courses have, everything that's included, with them. So it's one of those things that, you're just informing. You're not really selling anything. You're just informing the military spouses of the benefits that are available to them.
Right, exactly. I completely agree, because that is something that I as well, like, if I was looking at this position, would probably think, oh, I'm just trying to sell people, I'm just trying to upsell them or get them to buy the most expensive course or something like that. And I think just from previous
No.
episodes of Meditox Live and kind of the videos that we've done before in webinars, you can tell that we're definitely people who are here to help people make the best decision for their personal lives in regard to, their career training, as well as their sorry, a question got asked, I got distracted. But as well as, I forgot where I was going with that. But essentially, we aren't trying to sell people. It's about informing people about the MyCA grant, as well as the Workforce Investment Act, as well as our different self-pay options, and also recognizing that some people think the only educational option is to go to a four-year university or to go to a two-year community college, when they really just don't have the resources or the time to do that. And it's like, okay, well, here is a very viable career pathway that you can, get your education to prepare you for that career pathway in, as little as 3 months, as little as 6 months. And I know that kind of sounds like it's too good to be true, but I swear, and watch some of our webinars, there's definitely a lot of options out there in regard to different career fields that you just need a certification, and you don't necessarily need that really expensive four-year degree. But
Nope, you don't. And that's something else that was brought up, Megan, is when education liaisons speak with potential students, we want to find out what your goals are, what your interests are, what your focus is. What do you want to do when you grow up? Those kinds of things. So
it's like
we
an
really
aspect
want to.
of counseling to it, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like therapy, Meditec therapy. So that's what we like to do, is just figure out what you want to do, what your goals are, and then as soon as we speak with potential students, then they'll work with admissions advisors, which have been trained thoroughly, and they know all about the programs, and they advise you, yes, this is a good idea, no, this is not. We never want to put someone into a course that we don't think that they'll be successful. That is just, we would never do that. We want to do the right thing. So that's what we're here for, is to advise you and give you some guidance so you make the most out of your education.
Definitely. And we have one question from the audience, so I'm going to probably wrap it up with that. Ooh, now we have two questions. But it looks like somebody's asking, how do you find face-to-face events? Or is that something that you, Mitzi, support and help education liaisons find, or are they responsible for finding their own face-to-face events to go to, or both?
And it's both, honestly. I will look at events that are around or near bases for the education liaisons to attend. I get you flyers. I set up everything. We've been doing something recently called Coffee and Careers, where we'll go to a coffee house, Starbucks, something like that, and sit and have coffee and invite military spouses just to educate them about the program and see if they're interested, and have coffee on us. Why not? Sit down, have coffee talk. That's what we do.
Well, and just to talk to somebody about your options too, like a really no pressure, no strings attached kind of counseling session, essentially. And so we have one last question. Is there a minimum number of hours I need to commit to work per week? I know we already kind of talked about the commitments, but we didn't really break it down into hours. Mitzi, do you have suggestions? Because I have suggestions on social media, but as far as the other stuff, what do you suggest?
Well, I can give you a scenario, and everyone's going to be different, so it's not cookie cutter. We do have education liaisons that have full-time jobs during the day. We have education liaisons that have full-time jobs at night. So they work it into their schedule to make it fit. If you are not, and I think one of the biggest things is consistency. You go on to your different social media, avenues that you can go down, the different verticals that you have, and just be consistent. That's something that that you really need to focus on, and make sure you follow up with your students. And I think the most important thing is they will come in time. Don't be pushy. I am not a pushy person. I have never been a pushy person. So if they're interested, just talk to them, inform them. If they say, hey, you know what, I'll get back with you, then let them get back with you. Just send a friendly reminder, every few weeks or a week, and say, hey, just check in. Is there anything that I can do? Any questions that you have? But that's really successful. That's something that I know that really works, and I've seen success with.
Right, and I definitely think you need to ask yourself, what is this job going to be to you? Is it going to be your full-time position? Are you trying to support your entire family off of it, or are you just trying to get some pocket money? What is your goal? And I definitely think probably in regard to, if I'm talking about solely social media, I would probably say 2 to 3 hours a day, in my opinion, would probably be the best form of outreach. But obviously if you do face-to-face events all the time or something like that, you could lay off of the social media. But if social media is kind of your only avenue that you're wanting to utilize, which we're trying to branch away from, we're trying to get ELs to do both. But social media, I would definitely say probably an hour of posting and then an hour of like communicating with your student via social media. So like your students who have been, you know, interested and have actually reached out to you or something like that. But also, again, like Mitzi said, it is very arbitrary. If that sounds like too much to you or too little to you, you can do however much you want to do, which is what's the really cool part of the position. But I know we're a little over, so it's we're actually about 7 minutes over, and I want to respect everybody's time. Mitzi, is there anything else you'd like to say to kind of round out this episode and let people know why they should be an education liaison?
Yes, you get to work with Megan and I. We're pretty fabulous. We have fun. We enjoy what we do. We love what we do. We love watching people become successful and changing their lives for the better. It's a great thing. Education is the way to do. To support you guys, and you guys have the same opportunity that we do to, you know, touch someone's life and make a difference, and to go out there and help military spouses. You guys support your active duty soldiers, your military families. This is the way, you know, we're giving back to you guys, and, you know, to the spouses, you know, thanks for everything that you do. We do appreciate you, and keep up everything that you do. And if you have any questions, please let me know. You can reach me at mitzi.graham@360training.com, or the information that was on the slide before.
And I'll definitely post these out there and include in the description Mitzi's contact information. If you want to apply, you can obviously contact her, send her your resume directly, but there's also a more detailed description of the job in the Showcase app that should be to the right of your screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the link to the application in the description below. So if you want to find out a little bit more in writing so you can read it over and over again, you can do it that way. But otherwise, thank you very much, Mitzi, for joining me today. I had a very awesome time. I always love seeing your face.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks, Meditechers. We shall see you next time. Peace out.
Bye.